tell me, do you guys in Belgium and England, like in Holland, we have when you're in primary school,
Yes.
and you have your birthday or somebody else has his birthday, you send out invitations. And the invitation will say, "You're welcome to join the party. It's a surprise where we're going, but pack your swimming trunks." Was that something that you did in UK
we
and
did.
and Belgium?
We didn't have the surprise bit, like it's a surprise, like in the
Mm,
way it was worded. But yes, we did have pool parties where you go to the swimming baths.
I want to say that over here it was typically more bowling than going swimming. Like it was or like it was or garden parties more often, but
Yeah.
swimming almost never, I think.
Hmm.
No, it does happen over here because you get them big inflatable ones, don't they, and everything. You basically hire the pool for an hour.
No, no. For us, like we went to because I live in Rotterdam. We usually went to Oosterfond, which is a large swimming pool where I actually learned to swim with my school.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Mm.
and they also have bowling, by the way.
And laser
Cool.
tag.
Mm-mm. No, we had one place that had laser tag in Rotterdam that closed, and then they opened a new one in a boat.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Went there once with Sal and a few people. It was pretty fun.
Alright, and what's Rotterdam known for? Because like, if Amsterdam's like the tourist trap, what's Rotterdam? Like London's where everyone goes for tourists in this country, but then Birmingham's where the industrial freaking what you call it, heart of the country is. So what's Rotterdam?
Mm, we have some touristy things, um, but mostly I think it's like we used to have the largest harbor in the world until China
Mm.
just waltzed over us a few years
China.
back. Yeah,
Where is China?
but we are still the port of Rotterdam is the gateway to Europe, basically.
The Hook of Holland. Isn't that really close to you?
That's pretty close. They
Well,
just well, they just
Rotterdam and Antwerp,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's also pretty close.
and Antwerp is the drugs capital of Europe.
I could just because
They
every time I think of Antwerp, I just think of Hasidic Jews buying diamonds. So now that you've just said that, I can just imagine
you're
Hasidic
not
Jews all
you're
fucking
not
face.
You're
wrong.
not wrong.
Yes, that's alright. As long as
No,
stereotypes.
no, but they found a couple of metric tons in containers of coke, I think, over the last couple of months. Like 20,
Because I
20
remember you
metric
telling me
tons of cocaine. Yeah, it's
that's a
fucking
shitload.
insane. Right. So I've got the Sirenscape thing. Now I have to figure out how to install it.
Mm.
Because it's a tor.gz package, which is like a zip file, but very. Um,
I'm gonna put a copy of WinRAR in my inventory.
Well done.
I'm gonna feel like you're gonna be pedantic, so I'm gonna put 45 caliber bullets.
Well, Felix, why not?
Let's say 20 of them. say that's pretty much my suit all filled up.
All right. I like how heroin is all capital letters.
Heroin. Felix has a terrible heroin addiction in his spare time.
I'll tell you.
No, Steven. Sorry, go on.
No. You guys don't know each other yet. But the premise of the one shot will be made clear in a bit.
Well, I think it's gonna be a while till I figure out how to install this thing. So
Give us some flavor text.
No.
Where are we?
yeah.
Both of you have received a telegram. A telegram by a man you both know, one of many people you know. Rupert Merriweather. He made it known to both of you that you were to meet him at the hospital located in central Arkham, adjacent to the Miskatonic University. As you each arrive independently, the information desk in the main lobby provides directions to Meriwether's private third room floor. As you both arrive, seemingly at the same time, you open the door and you see a bedridden man engaged with two other visitors. An old lady, you presume is his wife, and his sneering weasel-like son, Bertrand. In a rasping whisper, Rupert introduces you guys to his wife, Agnes, and his son, Rupert, and he tells his family to leave all of you alone for a moment with his friends. They leave, and Rupert shouts at them, "Shut the door, please!" As you hear an audible click of the door, Rupert turns to you and says, "I'm sure you're wondering why I brought you here."
Have you got Sal to do a load of voice acting?
No, this is just me.
I swear, you sound like Sal doing Seraphim.
It does.
Felix. This is
Yes, Rupert.
Stephen. Stephen, this is Felix.
Hello, Stephen.
Pleasure to meet you.
I brought you
Good.
both here because you both have my trust and a set of skills that I think are complementary to one another. I will not beat around the bush because I don't have much time left in my old bones. In the days of my youth, me and some students became involved in what we believe to be an innocent exploration of the occult, led by a slightly older man. His name was Marion Allen. Me and 5 other men purchased an old farmhouse in a few miles west of Arkham, near the village of Ross's Corners. I will not beat about the bush. We conducted seances and other psychic research in privacy.
The unexpected results of our last experiment was the summoning of some evil force into this world. I am ashamed to say that instead of attempting to expel the thing, we abandoned the old house, scared, confused, but confident that the magic which brought this pure evil into this world would keep it confined to the vacant house. All of them have died. All of these people that were with me in the house, and even though we were once confident, I am sure now that the spell that binds the being to the vacant house lasts only as long as the casters live, and I'm sorry. I am the last of this group. And I fear that I fear that upon my death, this thing will wreak havoc on the countryside.
Rupert gestures weakly to an innocent metal box on the nightstand beside his bed and says,
Take the box. It's all the aid I can offer. It lies within. You must find a way to send that thing back to where it came from. You must see that this is done. Do this for me.
"What do you do?"
Well, is the thing inside the box?
No, it is no.
And he trusts the box. He holds the box out for one of you to take it.
Well, Stephen, you're a military man.
I take the box. And can I open this here? What are the contents of this box?
Rupert's like the moment you take the box, Rupert is spasming. He doubles up, groans, coughs forth a huge gout of blood and tissue, and spatters those near him, which means you and the nightstand, and falls into a coma.
I'm gonna run over to Rupert. Rupert! Rupert!
Like all alarms are blaring, and in moments the room quickly fills with interns, nurses, and Rupert's concerned wife and son as they ask you to leave the room.
Is his wife and son staying in the room?
Yeah.
Or... As I'm passing them, I'm just gonna grab them. He mentioned the occult. What occult?
Roll me.
Like I'm grabbing him as the doctor's like pulling me out the door.
Roll me a fast talk.
Oh no! See, even with the 19, I still fail. Ugh.
Which one did you grab? The son or the wife?
The son.
The son. He just wriggles free and pushes you out of the way. Let me be my father. I am here for my father, not for you. Not for the likes of you, you washed up Billy Bally. And he turns to his father.
So now we're stood outside the room with the box.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mr. Felix, it seems like maybe we should try to find.
Ross staring.
What's the word? Obscured location where we can open this box in all privacy?
Are you sure that's a wise decision? He says there's some sort of entity, like within the house, so if this is a trap, we might get sucked into it ourselves. But
Are you
it is our only
suggesting maybe
it is our
should
only lead.
this
So,
to the... Well, we've only just met the man. Perhaps we should take this to the authorities.
I was going
Perhaps
to
the
say,
police should
yeah,
hear of this.
Mr. DM, what's our relationship to Rupert? Because if we've just both received a random telegram from some random person.
No. You both know this man.
Ah,
And
Okay.
Felix,
yes.
you know that you are a somewhat distant cousin of him.
Yes. But who is Stephen?
Stephen met Mr. Merriweather a long time ago, and well, Stephen, why don't you tell Felix how you know Mr. Merriweather? I know you have nothing prepared. Just make something up.
Yes, I was just thinking. Wait, did I have something in my notes? Um. Um. Well, I met him before I set off on one of my e- excursions with the Navy, and he warned me as I was getting aboard that where we were heading there might be some trouble, and indeed, halfway through that voyage, some other fellow sailors disappeared from the boat in a thick mist.
Does this by
And
Bermuda
I
by any
have-
chance?
Sorry?
The Bermuda Triangle. We have to pass it on the way here.
Yes.
Yes.
How did you guess? Indeed, it was near the Bermuda Triangle.
Because I also saw the mist myself, sir. So,
Oh. Intriguing.
so do we find somewhere quiet? Maybe not in a busy hospital. Maybe we should go for lunch, sir.
Yes, Yes, let's do that.
Let's go to an all-American diner. I want to hear Coins do the American voice.
Hello, sugar. Would you like another cup of coffee?
Oh, I'm
Iced
sweet
tea
enough.
for me, please.
So what are you
Do
guys
you have
doing?
any chai? Well, I feel like if you're playing it out like in a 1920s sort of film, we'd end up in a diner with the box in front of us. We just ordered our waffles and pancakes, America's finest. And we're just staring at the box.
All right, so let me paint you a word picture. You're sitting in a diner. It's late, after supper time, after dinner time, so the diner is pretty much empty. It's one of those old-timey, like diners that are situated inside a caravan, you know? The kind I'm
Yeah.
talking about? Yeah. And you're sitting right around the back. There is an old man at the counter just slamming tea. Slamming tea like it's the last thing he will ever do. There's a slightly overweight cook manning the grill, flipping burgers. And there's a woman in a pink uniform. Platinum blonde, short curled hair, dispensing drinks, and she moves up to you. Says, "Can I get you anything, sugar?"
I'll have a cup of tea, mademoiselle.
A cup of tea and for the strapping sailor here.
Iced tea, please, madam.
Coming right up, sugar. and she dawdles away. And you're sitting across from each other, the box in the middle. It's intriguing, this box, and also a bit daunting. It's the possession entrusted in you with a bit of weird backstory by a probably dying man. What do you do?
Do you think we should open it, Stephen?
So, Mr. Felix, yes.
Just gonna have
Do
a
you
quick
want
look
to do
around.
the honors?
Not particularly, but
Oh,
Oh.
if
should
you don't want to, I will.
Go ahead. Let's see what's in store for us, shall to speak.
Yes, let's. And I take the box,
Mm-hmm.
like I pull it towards me a bit. Is there anything like written on the outside?
No, on the outside, no. It's just a weird metallic feeling metal box. It's cold. It feels very cold as you touch it.
I will slowly open it.
Roll. No. Inside, you find a few things. You find a yellowed envelope, um, a small sarcophagus-shaped gold box of ancient design, and a slim journal bound in leather.
Well, I show the contents to Mr. Felix.
The journal.
Shall we start with the letter, perhaps?
Yes. Maybe
Yes.
not read it out aloud.
Quite. I will take out. I'm assuming that there's like cutlery on the table, so I will take the knife, and use it to open the letter or open the envelope,
Mm-hmm.
To the shing.
and I will read the letter quietly for now.
As you open this old yellowed envelope, you see that it contains the. You open it and you turn it around, slightly tap the top, and a key falls out. You check the envelope, and it has a piece of old paper. And as you take it out and open it, it looks like the deed to a house.
Oh.
Is it the deed to the farm?
It says indeed that it is a house on Russ's Corner. In Russ's Corner.
Well, seems like we are now property owners, Mr. Felix.
Ah, a lost family heirloom, so to speak.
Yes.
So it's light at night.
Yeah.
In the year set, is there still like a bus service or something that could take us towards the farm overnight and then... Or do we own transport? Do I own a car?
Both of you roll me a credit rating roll. Both of you do not
I sure
own.
as fuck don't
No, neither of you owns a car. But the public transportation is pretty good or adequate during the daytime. At night, not so much.
So there's not like an overnight bus we can travel to Rostow.
No, like Russ's Corner is.
Oh, Rossi's gone. That's the
Yeah, no worries. Russ's Corner is a pretty small town,
It's in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
indeed.
Yeah.
How far away is it? Like, it's not within feasible walking distance from where we are.
No, it would take a full night of walking and then something for the day to actually get there.
I'm going to assume Arkham's like a city.
Arkham is a city, indeed. The servant comes back and hands you your tea and your iced tea, and she makes a show of the iced tea. Like, there you go, sugar. Oh my, that's a pretty looking box you got there. Ooh, that looks like some sort of Egyptian
Much
thing.
obliged.
Oh no, you're much obliged, sugar. But that looks like some of them Egyptian things. Are you two scholars?
Unfortunately not.
Oh, yes, indeed we are. And I wink at Mr. Felix.
When I say I'm
We
not a
are,
scholar, I'm a professor, darling.
Well, yes,
Well, yes.
Tantics. We have just returned from our journey in Egypt, where we have acquired this sarcophagus. It's called.
Who? Egypt?
It's
Who? I love Europe. Always wanted to go there.
Oh well, summer I'll take you.
You're too kind, sugar. And she like walks off giggling.
Oh, before you go, my love, before you go, have you heard of the town Ross's Corner?
Well, Mathieu, your accent is quite enthralling. But I've heard of it. I think it's about, well, due west, if I believe. And she turns to the cook and she's, Harold! Harold! For fuck's sake, Harold! Harold turns. Don't mind me, sugar. Harold, where the fuck is Ross's Corner? And Harold's like, I don't know. I think it's And he points at the direction, and she like looks at him and turns like, oh yeah, sugar. It's just down the road west. It's quite a ways away, though.
Would there be any public transport tomorrow, would you know, that we'd be able to take to Ross's Corner? We believe there's someone with information there.
Information about what? Ooh.
Oh, about this artifact, my darling.
Wow. Well, if you want information, you could just ask me. I can tell you everything for a price. I'll give you a freebie. It's beautiful.
That it is.
Not
How
as
much would you
beautiful
charge
as
for more?
you, sugar. She winks at Stephen.
Ah, young love. I remember it once. But did you say that there was a bus tomorrow?
Well, I'm quite sure. But, like, it might not be the earliest, but I'm sure there's people from the village that work in Arkham, and anything that goes here must come back, right?
Of course, of course. And one last question. Would you know if there's any hotels in the area we'd be able to stay the night?
I'm sure I can find you a hotel, Mr. Englishman, and for the strapping young sailor here, we can arrange something.
Ah, sounds indeed. I'm just gonna pass her a $5 as a nice tip and say thank you for the information. We'll be over later to discuss sleeping arrangements.
Mm. All right. Well, she winks at Stephen and says, "Thank you very much, sir," and moves away.
So, Stephen, I feel like we need to go to Ross's corner. If we've got the keys to the house. But then, do you
Yes.
know anything about this occult or what sort of entity? This is all new to me. I'm an architect, for Christ's sake.
I have, in my free time, done some studies, but I only know this and that. Not definitely no expert in it.
I wouldn't say I believe in ghosts or ghouls, but Rupert was a long lost relative of mine, so I must do my family duty. We shall stay the night and travel there tomorrow. What say thee?
Hmm.
Me.
That sounds like an excellent idea. Uh, DM, do we live in this town, or is it like, do we need to go to a hotel, or can we just like go to either of our places?
Well, you could certainly like um being a
I just
sailor.
assumed it was from. Yeah.
Yeah, like being a sailor, I imagine that you are like you have a place to stay in every town. Felix, you actually live in Arkham.
Let's go back to my place for the evening, and we'll travel in the morning.
Yes, that sounds like an excellent idea. And then
I'll get the
perhaps we
carry on.
perhaps we can open this sarcophagus and read the journal
Yeah.
over at your place.
In privacy over a brandy and some heroin. I'll say
Ah,
my breath.
excellent,
Oh,
excellent.
yes. Oh, good boy. Let's go. So, should we leave to my place? Do, 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 do. A few hours later.
A few hours later, it's raining, and you're standing in front of Felix's house. I imagine you go inside and
I stoke the fire.
and you stoke the fire, and it's quiet. There's a pendulum clock inside. It's about 9:30 p.m. Exactly 9:30 p.m. It's your house, Felix.
Well, I'm just googling 1920s American house interior, just to see what kind of shit I'd have in my house.
Well, you're an architect, so probably some weird shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look over there. It's a massive suit of armor and a load of guns.
Oh,
It's art. No.
impressive.
I'm gonna
Oh,
stoke the
not
fireplace.
functional?
If you just come into my front room, if you look inside the globe, you'll find the bar. Pour yourselves a brandy
Oh,
each, sir. Make yourself at home.
ingenious.
Mi casa,
Oh,
su
don't-
casa.
Don't mind if I do, sir. I will pour 2 brandies. Generous brandies.
I'm gonna say my house has the illusion of being rich, but if you just pull it back the curtains ever so slightly, you realise it is all an illusion. It's old dusty furniture. Seen
it's
better days.
Ravenloft all over again.
Yep. Well, I'm going to sit in my high chair with my brandy and start reading the journal.
All right. The journal is bound in black leather. It contains entries dating from June 1981 to March 1982.
1980? I thought it was the
Sorry,
1920s.
horror. Yeah.
1882. Sorry, 1881
Yeah.
to
Okay.
1882.
Okay.
Very sorry. Although the
MTV Bass was on in the background.
and although the ink is faded, the handwriting remains legible. You can tell that different inks are used in some of the passages, but all of them are written in the same neat, crabbed hand. One of the sorry, although the ink is faded, you can read it. Like, it's a lot of pages. Takes you about 4 hours, but the gist of it is that a group of friends, playfully calling themselves the Dark Brotherhood, held their first meeting in the early spring of 1881. Rupert Merriweather became the recording secretary. The members numbered 6, including Marion Allen, the founder, and their nominal leader. In June of 1881, they purchased an old farmhouse just outside of Ross's Quarters, a place where they could conduct their experiments in privacy, representing themselves as a student literary fraternity. They cleaned and furnished the place, while Marion Allen carved special wording, like protective signs, over the wooden doors and windows. At the time, you read, everybody was quite amused by such precautions. After a series of experiments, innocent and apparently ineffective attempts to contact the spirit world, an entry dated February of 1882 notes Marion Allen's acquisition of an artifact. Egyptian, seemingly Egyptian, described in the notes as a small sarcophagus of gold with a hinged lid. Inside was a large piece of amber entrapping a specimen of some unknown species of arthropod. You read that Allen was excited. The box corresponds to a description he found in an ordinary reference volume in the Miskatonic University Library. You read further that Allen says that in another book, a thick Latin tome titled De Vermis Mysteries, is an explanation of some purported power of the box. The small animal trapped in the amber is said to contain a friendly spirit and guide to the spirit world. You read that a date is set to conduct a ceremony intended to summon this spirit creature. The date that they choose is a warm Saturday night, the middle of March. Felix.
Oh.
And
Can I have a 30-second piss break?
you
'Cause-
can.
'cause
And
I'm
I
fucking...
also gave you
Yes.
something better to read.
Yes, you did.
Yes. Right, let's have a small break then.
Yeah, 2 seconds. Hello.
Hello, welcome back.
Hello. Right then, March 1882. We begin the ceremony as Marion instructed, according to the described in his book, De Vermilis Mysterious. I'm going to say that's how he said. A fire is set in the fireplace and a pentagram chalked on the floor, marked with the appropriate symbols and illuminated by 2 black tapers placed near the center flanking piece of amber with its entrapment spirit. Fuck me. Could do with some grammar in this. The others sit in a circle while I, the designated watcher who guards for malevolent spirits, sits in the far corner of the room. Marion throws a handful of powder in the fire, producing an evil-smelling smoke and dampening the flames of which now burn a sputtering green and brown. The seated begin the Latin chant Marion Allen has transcribed from his book. After nearly 2 hours, I see a trail of smoke circling up the piece of amber. Its surface seems to be bubbling, melting. Could this be it? Have we finally achieved success? I can see a form. It is the following day. We have finished with our plans and have sworn a pact to never speak of what happened last night. Whew, we have satisfactorily explained the death of Robert, and in some manner the madness of Harold. Oh, so hello. Robert and Harold died. The sheriff accepts the explanation of carriage accident. We planned it well. Robert's neck was broken in the fall, we told him. Harold struck his head from a rock, of a horse's leg broke, and carriage rolled. Would it be that only that? For the rest of us, we will forever change by what experienced last night. There. The first thing formed in the center of the pentagram, shapeless, nearly invisible. Its terrible voice should have given us a clue, but we were foolish. It spoke. Then Marion cast a damp powder on the spirit. The dust of Ingazi, he calls it. And that's when we could see it. And now I can hear the kettle boiling in the background. Tea's up. Words cannot describe the faceless thing of 1,000 moors. It rolled and bubbled, but never revealing itself. So terrifying was its aspect, I thought it frozen to the floor, the pen falling from my nervous fingers. Cecil and Marion seemed as lifeless as I, while a short, sharp cry issued from Crawford's mouth. Robert, however, rose to his feet before anyone could stop him, stepped forward through to embrace our horrible guest. With its arms and those appendages which seemed like arms, it took hold of poor Robert and twisted his head around as if it was Dell's head. There, can't get me fucking words out. Oh, look, you asked the man with the stammer to do this.
Because he was the one reading it.
Yes. The lifeless corpse was then thrown back into Harold's laps. That's when he began the damnable shrieking. The shrieking that had not stopped even after we handed him over to the sheriff's men. We still had a chance, apparently. Marion now believes that if we kept our wits, we could have reversed the chance and eventually forced back the creature to wherever it came from. But Crawford panicked, and mistakenly believing that it would dispel the creature, reached forward and destroyed part of the pentagram, breaking its effectiveness. Released from its binding symbol, the thing, with a screech that can only be unholy satisfaction, fled the house, disappearing out of the window in a roaring, screaming wind of boiling colors. Marion believes that the thing could be still destroyed, or at least dispelled, but none of us who remain have the stomach of such undertaking. It is believed that the spell we cast with I can't say that word, binds that things to the house, And it's true that when we went back a few days later to retrieve our things, we heard it bumbling around the attic over our heads. The warding sign so cheerfully carved by Marion Allen during better times. Times that seem so long ago, apparently are effective and bar the thing entry except for the attic of the house. So it's stuck in the attic. So there we go. Let's write some notes on this.
Well,
So, Robert.
before you do anything,
Yes.
roll me, both of you,
Here we go.
a sanity roll.
Oh.
Felix, you had
That's what I
a
said,
first success, and Richardson, you had a success. That means you'd only take 1d2 of sanity loss. If you right click on your dice, you at the top see a roll 2. Stephen, you have you have 2 sanity loss. Felix,
where am I seeing this thing?
right click on your dice.
Yes. Yeah. Roll 2. Oh, no.
No.
Arrange die on a d6. Then what?
No. You right click on your dice.
Which one? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Any of them. Any of them.
Yes.
Right click on your dice, and then the top, like you get a
Custom dice.
You have custom dice, and to the right of it is roll 2.
Yeah, that rolls. It does that.
Right, so custom dice. No
a
idea.
d2. Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
All right. So
I
you
got there in
take
the end.
1 point of sanity loss for Felix. But both of you also get a 1 percentile added to your Cthulhu Mythos skill.
Ooh. So we have 1.
Yes.
Yes.
Now there
Well,
is a
no.
chance you do not fail.
You won't let me change mine. Oh yeah, there we go.
As you are checking the rest of this journal, the next entries are the names of those belonging to the aforementioned Dark Brotherhood, followed by the dates of their deaths, all in the same hand, but again in various inks. The first one is Robert Menking, March 1882. Harold Copley, August 1882. Marion Allen, August 1883. Crawford Harris, 1915. Cecil Jones, March 1924. And in the same handwriting you see the name Rupert Merriweather without a date. Below it is a
That's
small... Sorry?
That's grim.
Indeed.
Writing your own death thing.
A small newspaper clipping dated August 1883 is pasted next to the entry marking Marion Allen's death. Can you both see this? Yes? No?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just reading.
Murder at the docks,
Yeah.
New Orleans. The body of Mr. Marion Allen, late of Arkham, Massachusetts, was discovered early in the morning near the Gulf and Panama docks. A victim of foul play. The man was identified by local witnesses who said that Mr. Allen has been seen the locale in the evening before. Although robbery was the apparent motive, police report that the victim's tongue has been cut out. Marion Allen had reportedly gone to the police earlier this week claiming that he was being followed and that he was fearing for his life. He said his shadowy pursuers were after an Egyptian artifact, which he no longer possessed. The last entry is a journal entry. It's written in a noticeably weaker hand, and compared to all the other writings and inks, it kind of looks like this one is pretty fresh.
I gravely fear that which I and my colleagues have loosed up upon this countryside, nothing of consequence has yet taken place, but with my death the bonds will be broken and the thing then freed to come and go as it pleases. Lives and souls not yet taken already lie heavy on my conscience. The method of delivering the thing out of this world is still in that accursed house. The transformation made by Marion Allen from the horrid De Vermis mysteries I am not strong enough to take on the task. But I know of those who perhaps are. Should they fail me, may God have mercy on my soul.
So looking at the journal entries, the thing that they've released, but if the thing's in the house, who's following them and killing them off? And then there's also the pentagram in the house which has been damaged. So if that can be repaired, that means we could trap him. When we look at the artifact, the box, does it look like the box of an artifact, or is it the actual artifact itself?
Well, you have the box, and in it is an artifact that looks like what
So-
what is described inside of the journal.
So, just to see that I've got it right. You said something about this artifact, which is some animal trapped in amber, supposedly containing a friendly spirit
Well,
that would serve as a guide
like,
to.
you have this little box, this little golden box that is shaped like a sarcophagus. From the journal, you can deduce that there was a piece of amber inside this golden sarcophagus. That set in motion the events that are portrayed in the journal.
So they put it inside the pentagram, did the chant, and it's awoken the spirit that's now in the house.
Yeah.
But what was that then about, like a friendly spirit that would serve as the guides to, or not a guide to the underworld, but like something that would like aid talking with the underworld?
Roll me.
Did I hear that right?
You did. Roll me an occult roll.
Yes. Occult. Ooh.
You can, like, from what you have read, you know that not all spirits of the ancient were friendly, and also that as
Oh.
you give a speech, also that like translations from the ancient world sometimes get mistranslated. And you can kind of deduce that
Right. Okay.
where some might say friendly, might be just the opposite.
Friendly to
Right.
whom?
So, yeah, that too. But so the creature or ghost or whatever that is haunting this cellar is then probably the creature that was summoned using this piece of amber.
Well, you know that something has been brought forth from this piece of amber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, like you could give me a history. One of you give me a history check, or both of you. I will give it to you, Stephen, because I was gonna give you a bonus die for this.
Okay.
Um, also, Stephen, roll me. Where is it again? Because I think you do not have rolled your luck. You have 2 luck points, which is not a lot.
I thought when I made this character I had like 85 luck or something, but I will roll again. What is it again?
You have 3d6.
3d6 and then
Multi-
times 5 or something like that, right?
yeah, so you have 50 luck.
50 luck.
Nice.
Okay. And there is something about like if you succeed on a skill roll, then you check it, and whenever you proceed to like a next adventure, you can use those to then increase those
Yeah,
skills.
yeah.
So I would,
So if you, yeah, you can um, check your history right now,
yes, history
and
and occult.
indeed,
Wait,
yeah,
yes.
occult you also uh, um, succeeded. And um, remind me, every time you succeed in a roll without using luck, you can
Mm-hmm.
tick the appropriate box, and at some point we will roll to see if you level up this skill.
Yep. Okay.
All right, where were we?
I
Where?
rolled a history check.
Yes.
Yes. You rolled a history check. It was just like where some people would say friendly. During the centuries, the translation could be misinterpreted as friendly versus evil, basically. And deducing from what you have read in this journal, or what has been read to you from this journal, it kind of looks like they made a mistake with friendly.
Yeah. Okay.
Friendly to an occult, but not friendly to us.
So, Mr. Felix, do you have any idea how we could, what do they call it, reverse this chant?
Well, I have no knowledge of this occult, so I wouldn't even know where to begin with this. I wouldn't even know what chant they were saying in the first place. The only clue we have in this journal is the dust of Ivigazi, as he calls it. I'm going to say, is Arkham a big city in the point that it'd have a library?
It
Yes,
for
and-
sure does.
Yeah. I was
Well, since it's
gonna suggest
the
that
early...
as well.
Well, it's currently the very early hours of the morning. I feel we should turn in for the night. And in the morning, head towards the library before we head to Ross's corner.
Yes, or is there, instead of a library, is there a bookshop that specializes in like occult or obscure old books?
Mm, 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 mm. Roll me a navigate roll, Stephen.
Yes. Navigate. Yeesh.
Could I help him with that since I'm from Arkham?
You can roll a navigate too.
Come on, baby. Nope.
Both of you know that there are bookshops in this town, but like the specifics for this undertaking, it's difficult because neither of you have at any point in your lives needed to look for a bookshop specialized in the occult. You wouldn't know where to begin. But a safe point to start would be indeed a library.
There's plenty of book lovers in a library. Maybe we can have some joy of meeting someone there that could point us in the right direction.
Well, it's a good place to start for sure.
So I'm gonna down my brandy and say, you can stay in the guest room if you'd like. As I say, mi casa su casa.
I would not turn down such an offer, Mr. Felix.
It seems like Rupert knew you well, so to call him by his dying side, he seemed to have trusted you,
Yes.
so I will trust you, sir.
Hmm. Likewise.
So I'm gonna clink my glass,
So-
swig it up, put it down, and retire for the evening in my smoking jacket. Well,
Too bad.
smoking on my pipe. Hey, yes.
See you in the morning.
Good evening, there, Stephen.
Herr Stephen.
Yes, Stephen. Good evening.
All right.
Good night.
Good day.
I said good day, sir.
I said good day.
Both of you retire to your respective sleeping quarters. And I'm gonna grab something to drink real quick.
I will go for pee break then.
Yes.
So, what are you guys up to?
We're heading to the library. Right?
Well, I think we're turning in for the
I can
night.
see you.
Oh, yeah, or...
Is it morning?
Depends. What day is it today?
Wednesday.
All right.
It's always Wednesday.
Always Wednesday. You wake up around 8:30 after a night of restless sleep. Weird dreams about walking into a house and being murdered by some unseen shadow figure. Dreams of ancient Egypt, pyramids, and gore and death. But it's a new day, a new dawn, a new life. And you're feeling good. 8:30. Have a spot of breakfast, I imagine. Cup of tea.
Of course.
Bit of coffee, maybe even. If you're feeling sassy.
Schmuck and a pancake.
Smoking a pancake. And Felix, you know that the public library, although small, has some information. The Miskatonic University, next to the hospital that you were visiting last night to visit your friend, is by far the better gamble to get some information. But that all depends on what information you are looking for.
Well, we're looking for information on how the hell do you pronounce the letters IBN? Ibn Ghazi.
Ibn. Isn't it just Ibn?
Ibn?
The
Sure.
dust of Ibn Ghazi.
Ibn Ghazi?
Yeah, and the Vermees mysteries. As well as like anything like generic about summoning spirits and summoning circles or pentagrams or what have you.
So I feel like the pentagram and stuff would probably be better to go to the library. But then if you want to learn about the Egyptian side of things, you'd go to the university. So, Stephen, what will it be, do you think? Why not both?
Well, let's
It's a new morning.
yes. Well, let's start with the Miskatonic University. Probably if they were more likely to have specialized information, and probably if they have specialized information, then we can deduce some more generic things from that.
And while we're there,
say-
since it's next to the hospital, we can always check up upon Rupert.
Yes, he might be able to tell us the location of the summoning spells that he used, or give us some more information on those.
Well, it's worth a try. Let's make haste. Let's not wait about and waste the day.
Why? Pip pip.
Pip pip. So I'm gonna grab my umbrella as I'm walking out.
Mm-hmm.
Is it raining?
Well, it was last night. You can never be too prepared.
You can never be too careful.
So we're heading to the university then, sir.
Yes.
It's a good thing you brought your umbrella. It's raining on your way there, and neither of you have any coin to spare at this moment. So it's a walk towards this university. Takes about half an hour to get there, but you get there in one piece. and you enter the university. There's a lady there that asks you what are you doing here, who you're for, and you just tell her that you're looking for knowledge in the university. And she points you to the library. It's two hallways down, one to the left, and both of you enter this large library. It's busy. There's people there and people flipping through books, reading books. Overall, it's pretty quiet. What are you looking for?
I was about to say the sounds coming through Swordscape are saying differently. I'm going to assume that there's like a bookkeeper, or is it just full of students? Oh, we'll walk to the desk. There you are. Ding the bell.
It's pretty full of students indeed.
As we look around, like, does it look like anyone's reading any really, like, obscure books, or do they just look like generic textbooks?
Roll me a spot hidden. It's a lot of students. Even though it's pretty early, it's about 10 a.m. There's a lot of students reading all sorts of books. Tell me, what are you exactly looking for?
Just any book that looks kind of unusual or anything, because like you'd have your normal generic textbooks, but then if someone got like reading through a book that looks like it's from a library, like it looks like completely different. Like
No,
you
with
catch your eye, no?
yeah, with your 16 now. No.
I'll go up to the desk and ring the bell then.
All right, Stephen, did you want to do anything?
Yeah, is there like an index of sorts?
There sure is. But again, the question is, what are you looking for?
Well, I'm specifically gonna look for these the Vermees mysteries.
Ah, roll me a library use.
Yes. Whew, extreme success.
Yes.
You're walking with Felix, and Felix is like flipping through the pages of the index. Like I'm not I don't know what I'm looking for, and like you just slam the page that he was just about to turn. Felix rips it just a bit, and your finger moves down the page, and you see the name that you are looking for. The Vermis Mysteries. And it has an X behind it. And a 3. The number 3.
Would that translate to like an location in the library, or does that mean that there are 3 copies of this book?
You check, and it should be on the 3rd page, but like the X is confusing, but because none of the other books has an X behind it.
Can I like just call over a library assistant or a librarian, ask what this X means?
Sure. You like look around and you see a man behind a desk fervently writing and like pushing his glasses back up his nose and writing again, and like it takes 5 seconds until his glasses fall down his nose again. He pushes them back up, writes again, and this just goes on and on and on. But he has the name tag of the librarian, and everything about this man oozes, I work here. I am a librarian. You ring the bell to get his attention, and like he's engrossed in his work. So you ring it again, like ding, 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 and he looks up and stands up and walks over to you and says, "Sorry, how can I help you?" Pushes his glasses back on his nose.
Yes, I'm looking for this book and I found it in the index, but it has this X next to it, and I wanted to
Yes,
know what
yes.
that means.
Yes, 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 yes. This is one of our special books. It is restricted. It's on the restricted list compiled by Dr. Henry Armitage. You would need his personal permission if you want to see it.
Sorry, what's his name again?
Armitage.
Armitage. I really want to take a look at this book because, well, it's a long story of mine, but a friend of mine is in really dire need, and he mentioned this book, and I just really need to read it, to be able to help him. So, could you point me towards this Mr. Armitage's office? Or where would
You're-
I be able to find him to...
Are you not a student here? Everybody knows Mr. Armitage. I mean, come on. Mr. Armitage is one of the most famous students, learning
Yes,
purple
well,
people
yes.
here.
I know, but I'm new here. I just transferred, and
Oh,
I haven't found out where all the offices are. So could you just please tell me where his office is?
yes, you're one of those. Okay, you're one of those transfer students. Okay, well, Mr. Armitage, Dr. Armitage, holds office every weekday morning in his office. And it's just outside the library and the second door to your left. You can admit it has Armitage on the door.
Thank you very much. And I just need a written permission slip from him, and then I will be able to access the restricted records. Well, no matter. I will.
Shut it down.
I will
He
ask
pushes
him, and
his
I'm
glasses
sure he
back
knows.
again. I'm sure he does. Good luck.
Yes. Thank you.
Stephen, I'm pretty sure we can probably convince him for access once we show him the artifact in our possession. Let's head over to his office and
Yes.
see what he has to say.
Let's, Mr. Felix. Let's not show this artifact on first meeting with this Mr. Armitage. Let's keep it between ourselves for now. If there is nothing else to convince this man, then we can show it. But for now, let's keep this
Okay.
under wraps.
I was going to say, I'm just going to tap my tap my nose and say, "Mum's the word."
Hmm?
So right out, let's go. Off we trundle through the university.
So basically, you are moving towards the office of Mr. Armitage.
Yes,
Armitage?
Armitage.
Armitage. Henry. Dr. Henry. All right.
Henri. Armitage.
Dr. Henry. You move, and just as the guy said, the door to Mr. Armitage's room says, Dr. Henry Armitage. I imagine you knock on the door or something.
Is there an assistant or waiting or like a queue? Because the librarian said like he holds office, so I assume there might be other people there wanting to see him.
No, not at the moment.
Then let's knock on the door then.
Well, before you knock, what's our plan of action? What are we?
Oh,
Are we just gonna straight up and just ask for the book?
well, we could just ask for access to the restricted section, right? Maybe tell him that it is for to help our good friend Mr. Rupert Merriweather, and perhaps I assume the doctor would know him since he's also part of the Miskatonic University. So
Oh,
that might make him more lenient.
let's go ahead then.
Yes.
Oh, knock the door twice. Dun dun.
Come in.
Open the door. Walk in.
You see a man
Follow.
hunched over his desk. Piles of books everywhere. And he looks, what do you want? I'm busy.
Good morning, sir. We are here on behalf of Rupert Merriweather.
Never heard of him.
He's an alumni of this school, and he believes that there is a book in the library which can help him.
A lot of books in the library. What did you want? We have a lot of alumni.
It's a book in the restricted section.
And this is the first moment he looks up at you and locks eyes with you over the brim of his glasses, like, whatever.
Well, the good librarian told us that we need a sort of permission slip from you to access this restricted section. We only need or are interested in the one book, but could you be so kind as to give us one of these permission slips?
My dear boy, there's no need. To meddle in these things, it's dangerous. I think you would be better off reading about some hungry caterpillar or something.
Please, good doctor, this is to help a man's life.
Well, I have to say, if we need one of the books in the restricted area, it can only lead to hardship and pain. This is not. None of it is to save anybody.
No, good doctor. believe me, if what we have been told is true, and we have every reason to believe that it is, uh, this book will prevent more hardship and pain than it will cause.
Roll me a fast talk.
Yes, mate.
That is a actual 1, which is a critical success. Fine. Which book do you need?
It's called the Vermees Mysteries, I believe.
Well, okay. It looks a bit, well, it's, well, sure. And he just writes a slip of paper without really looking at what he reads, and just hands it to you, and it's just like, before you even take it, he's engrossed in his studies again.
Just take the slip from his
Nice,
hand.
good sir.
Have a good day, sir. Thank you for your cooperation.
Okay.
And he waves you off.
So take a bow and then,
Back to the librarian.
yep.
Alright, so you go back to the librarian?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he looks you up and down. What is it you want?
I waved a piece of paper. We've got permission from Dr. Armitage to borrow this book, The Vermees Mysteries. I
And he
hold the...
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say I hold the paper towards him, but I keep hold of him.
He pushes his glasses back on his nose, and takes a look at the paper. Oh, wow! He actually gave you? He actually gave you a permission slip?
Indeed.
Whoa, he did.
Now, could I have it after you're done with it, maybe?
Book or permission
No,
slip?
the permission slip.
Well,
What what use is it to you? Don't you have access to the
No. No, sir. The restricted area is restricted for everybody except Dr. Armitage. But if he deemed you worthy of going in there, I just have to have this permission slip. Can I please have it?
if you get caught with it, we didn't give it to you. Are we clear?
Of course.
Hang on.
Well.
Let's we'll visit the restricted section first, and then
Of
on
course.
our way out,
Yes.
perhaps
Yes.
you might have it.
That your phrase terminology there makes me not as confident as you would make it out to be. Let's make a deal till I get it. Not maybe, but surely after you exit the restricted area.
frankly, sir. I honestly don't see why we would need to give this to you. Are you expecting this as a form of payment for your services rendered?
No, I'm a student. I do not get paid. And you're not one. You're not one who can give me credits. But I have this lady that works here, and I quite fancy her. And I would like to impress her and show her the forbidden section, if you know what I mean.
Oh, you scoundrel.
Can I roll an insight check?
Sure, you can.
Is there such a thing as an insight check here?
Yes. That would be a psychology roll. Well, as far as you know, he just wants to show her the forbidden section. Pushes his glasses back up its nose.
Well then, Mr. Felix, unless you have any objections?
No, lead the way.
And he like flips over the counter. It's one of those flip counters, you know. And he steps out and follow me. Walks through the library, and the further you go, the less people there are. He opens the door, and you take a stair, another stair, until you're on the third floor. He opens the door and steps in.
Right this way.
And he walks. And it's very quiet in this area. All you can hear is the slight sound of music coming from the PA system. He fishes in his pocket and takes out a large key ring.
Which one is taken? Not this one. Not this one. Maybe this not. This one. Oh no, it's this one.
And he takes out a large key from the key ring. Places it in, but you can clearly tell is sort of like a prison style area for books, like a book prison basically. And he opens a slightly rusted cell door, slides it aside. It doesn't open towards you, it slides actually to the side. And he says,
Right in there.
I didn't understand a word of that.
he pushes his glasses back and
After you.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna swan on in. Start looking through the book covers until I come across the Vermi mysteries.
Stephen?
Yeah, I'm doing the same. I'm while we're in the restricted section, I'm keeping an eye out for anything else that might like describe how summoning spirits works, or like how summoning circles or pentagrams work. But yeah, I'm mostly just looking for the Vermees mysteries.
All right, both of you roll me a library use.
Oh boy!
Fucking hell, you're on fire.
You're on fire.
Oh, can I spend 8 points to make that into a succeed?
You for sure can.
Okay.
So that makes you have 52 luck points
52.
left.
Yes.
Good to know. There's a lot of books here. Mein Kampf,
Pentagrams for dummies.
Pentagrams for Dummies, How to Survive Call of Cthulhu, the Pro Edition, um, Alchemy 101. Let's
Slender Man, is he real?
Slenderman, he's real. What now? Slenderman, he's in my house. Please help me. Slenderman is looking through the two cupboards at me. Indeed. Santa, the real story. And among these books, you find the aforementioned book you're looking for. Do you take it?
Well, I'm going to assume that a restricted area, we're not going to be allowed to take it out with us, but normally, like, how I'm envisioning it in my head, it's like in Harry Potter, where they're going to the restricted area, there's going to be like a little table that can put it out on. Like, you normally get the white glove out and start looking at it while you're in the restricted area.
Sure, I've never seen Harry Potter or read the books, but I imagine it's like the Citadel in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's all behind locked doors, but then there'll be like a little table somewhere that I can just place it for the moment and read it while I'm in the restricted area, but I can't leave with it. Is there a table we can put the
There
book on?
is for sure a table, and it's in view of Peter, the library assistant. He's like looking up, pushing his glasses back up. And,
What's going on there? What is he doing?
We found the book we're looking for, Peter.
Okay.
Would you
Remember,
like to read along with us? I know
No,
this area
no.
interests you.
I wouldn't go here alone, only with Fusion. Okay. Have at it. Let's.
And he like slightly keeps an eye on you, but he's also like, I don't want to go in there. Are you both reading the book?
Yes.
Yes.
You open the book and you start reading. Both of you give me a Constitution check.
Can I spend 4 of my 52 luck points?
Sure.
You sure?
It's weird. For the first moment you read it, it's like the letters and words are swimming, but you both focus. And the words seem to get in line, and the words together form sentences, and the sentences start to form paragraphs. But does anybody speak Latin or read Latin?
I
doubt an
don't
architect
think
would.
so.
No, I doubt an architect would he?
No, neither of you have language other, if I can recall correctly.
No, I don't. Definitely not Latin.
No, you only
Peter,
have.
Yes.
can you read Latin by chance?
Sure. Of course. Thank you.
Is that a yes? You
He,
broke up a bit there.
he pushes his glasses up his nose again.
Yes. Yes, I can read Latin. Come on. What do you think? What do you think I am? Some sort of right?
Oh, sorry for doubting you, my dear boy. I'll bring the book over towards you since you don't want to come into the room. Would you mind reading and telling us what this book describes?
Sure.
And he pushes his glasses back up his nose again. And oh
He
boy,
goes insane.
he starts reading and
What?
and his eyes turn pitch black. And his mouth starts drooling. And a unholy voice that sounds like gravel falling on concrete says to you,
You do not meddle in the affairs. Mortals, you will die. You will die. You will die.
and
And I will pay taxes. Yes, I know. Tell us
Yes,
something new.
yes.
and Rupert just falls unconscious on the floor.
Rupert? Weren't you in the hospital 2 minutes ago?
Oh no,
Peter?
Peter falls unconscious on the floor.
I'm gonna slam the book shut. Peter! Peter! Wake up! It's not slapping him.
Roll me a first aid check.
I'll get a fucking success at some point.
Well, what you can do, if you tell me what you're doing different, you can push the roll.
Since he's unconscious, I'm gonna push the roll by grabbing a glass of water that was on the side,
Mm-hmm.
slamming it over his face.
All right.
So,
Roll first
we
aid
go
again.
No.
You can spend 40 luck points if you want.
No.
Basically, because you push the roll, you get another chance. But if you fail harder. That's the way it goes. No, you can only push it once. And you try to throw a glass of water in his face, and the glass slips from your hand, just like the bottom part, like thumps him on the head, and immediately you see a little speckle of blood forming, and he starts convulsing a bit.
I turn to Stephen. Oh dear. There's been a bit of a to-do there. I think we should be leaving. Take the buck. Leave the slip. Let's go.
Well,
Act like you belong.
Is he making a lot of noise? Like,
Uh,
would he be
No, but
I'm asking the
he's
DM.
he's not making a lot of noise, but there's this like terminal for the music, and you could just turn it up a bit to drown any noise he makes if you want.
I don't know, he's been very nice to us. I don't want to just leave a man here. But we do need that book.
Yes, but I also kind of want to take another look at this restricted section. It might be the last chance we have.
I'll go get help. I'm gonna run out into the main library bit. Does anyone know first aid? Peter's had a bit of a fall. Banged his head.
And you see a lady just perk up, push her glasses up on her nose, and says, "Peter? Peter had a bit of a... What happened to Peter? Show me to Peter."
Come, quick. He
And
tripped over the bars on the way into the restricted section and banged his head, and now he's on the floor, convulsing. Quickly. We must go.
and she rushes up to Peter and just falls to her knees beside Peter and cradles him in his arms and does a first aid check, which is a 79, and just holds him to her bosom, rocking him. "Oh, Peter, oh, Peter, I know you wanted to show me the forbidden section, but not like this, not like this." Rocking back and forward.
Oh, God, you're no use sure the lover, aren't you? We'll go back into the library. Does anybody actually know first aid here? Come on, you're a bunch of scholars. You should all, someone, at least, any of you medical students.
One of them pipes up and... "The medical students? They're over the other side of town."
Oh, Jesus Christ, I forgot this is a university of history, isn't it?
Indeed.
Do none of you know how to help here? Can we call an ambulance? No, they don't exist yet.
Ambulances existed in the 1920s, dude.
Not in the same kind of sense. You didn't have paramedics until the 1980s.
One of them
You only
pipes
had
up.
ambulance drivers.
One of them pipes up and says, "Ambulance? Now that's a peculiar notion. I'm gonna patent that."
Call it a Krakenwagen instead.
In Dutch it's called ziekenwagen. Sick car.
Sick car.
Basically.
Really?
Yeah, like usually we call it ambulance,
Yeah, same.
but you can also call it ziekenwagen.
Get in your
Yeah,
sick car and go.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking Dutch. All right. One of them like pipes up and said, "I'll call. Sure." He takes out his pencil and walks up to one of the phones, and it's one of those round dial phones, and he pushes his pencil in and just rounds it out. Turns back,
Ring.
rounds it out, turns back. And let's pick this up next time.
Eee.
Alright.
That was fun, guys.
It was.
Holy
Oh,
shit, it's 10 already? What the fuck?
yeah, I know. We've been at it for 2 hours. God, I love
Oh,
Call of
that was
Cthulhu.
nice.
It's so good.
Yeah. Same.
Is it harsh of me to say that I do prefer this to 5e?
No, I prefer to 5e, like
That's alright.
faux show. I love the fact that you are actually human.
Yeah, and it's more
Yeah.
like RPing through situations.
Indeed, you have a like you have Pulp Cthulhu, which is more like gunning, fighting, and more combat. And you have this, which is regular Call of Cthulhu, which is basically more investigating. The player characters are also called investigators, not heroes, not whatever, because they are actually investigating.
And just one more question. You know the Dr. Henry Armitage.
Mm-hmm.
Is it spelt the way I've spelt it in the chat?
Sure.
It's Armitage.
Yeah,
Because it's really weird because
I know.
it's quite. No. It's weird because literally, the village that's in between this town and the town next to me is called Armitage, and it's the only one in the whole country called Armitage. So when you just said Dr. Henry Armitage, I was like, what the fuck?
It's
That's
almost as
that's
if
literally up the
the
road.
keeper did some research to make it personal.
Did you? Or are you like?
No, it's just in in the adventure.
I was gonna fucking say.
I was gonna say if the next professor is called Professor Zemst, then I'm gonna freak out.
Oh, that was
And
fun.
And I've got to say, you can do the perfect impression of Sally's Seraphine.
Quite, yes.
Honestly, thought that was coming through Sirenscape, I did.
Really?
Yeah. That's why we went, hold on, have you got Sal to fucking do voice acting? Then you went, no, it's just me. It's like, oh, hello.
Now Cell standing next to me. That would be fun, though.
I want the others to try Call of Cthulhu.
I've been asking them, but you know, most of them are stuck in their ways,
Yeah.
and it's difficult to start something new. I was talking to Joe today, like, yeah, you can join. Like, I might listen in.
So Joe won't do it unless Joby does it, and then Joby won't do it unless Joe does it. But neither
Indeed.
one of them will come
Yeah.
in first.
Yeah. Well, we'll get them there.
Yeah. Oh, I like just me and you, Ron. Just that little twosome.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's fun.
It
We should get
is-
Faye in as well.
Yeah, Faye will join next time, probably.
Yeah.
I'll write her in. No worries. And Cell too, probably. Cell would also like it. And maybe Jan. Jan would also like this adventure path.
I
Alright.
did like playing with Jon, to be fair.
Jan is one of my oldest friends, and he's just golden. Absolutely golden.
I like him.
Me too.
Ja.
Ja, Jan.
Das ist so gut, ja.
super.
Oh ja, play the movie.
Smoking a pancake.
Oh ja.